There is a conjunction called in as much. Yes. Because, since, in its causative meaning, yes. The jury, yes, was inconclusive on the question of Paul's guilt, yes, inasmuch as there was no specific finding of his conduct, yes. Now you have me scheduled for a cell hearing on January 4th of this next year, yes, where you're going to restore me to my sanity so a jury, yes, can find me guilty of violating a protection order and cyber stalking. But it involves some conduct on the defendant's side. Yes. Now let's look at that conduct. Oh, if I wasn't there, how could I have committed any violating of a protection order? Yes. And if my emails include ri.pdf that has forgery and fraud, yes, that the petitioner didn't witness the court hearing because she didn't witness the signature on the actual document, and it says that I was not given actual notice and the opportunity to be heard, how the fuck is it that inasmuch as you say that I've committed a crime, you could have considered my conduct as being guilty of the allegations of the criminal complaint? Now there's another, some Latin without hearing the other party. In audita altera parte. Wow. The term sometimes used in decisions of the European Court of Justice. Oh, really? Without hearing the other party, ex parte. Now let's look at ex parte. Let's say you had a dissolution of marriage where the petitioner was committing the crime of welfare fraud. Yes. Because of making up a story on Guam that had committed domestic violence and child abuse. Yes. And you decided that you would have it ex parte without any proof of service to myself. Yes. And without an actual marriage license. Oh. And you, as Judge Rohr, decided right now that you're going to issue the dissolution of marriage because of the welfare fraud of using domestic violence as a reason to receive all of these benefits as a citizen of the United States. Now, ex parte evidence. Oh, look, they have evidence in the Black's Law Dictionary. Yes. Well, I just want to make sure because nobody seems to want to enforce my right to have due process. Because you believed, yes, a woman, right, that had said that I'd committed domestic violence and child abuse, yes, where I provided the evidence that I hadn't. She had me arrested. She ex causa mandati, yes, ex parte exceptio, exception, yes, excess. Well, I wonder why it should be right here. Yes, ex alter parte, yes, of the other part. Ex equio e bono, yes. Ex without, ex rights, as in no rights to the respondent. Yes. Ex action. I wonder, ex action, ex adversia, ex equio. Examiners, all examination, examined, maybe expulcatory expectation, ex parte, done or made at the assistance and for the benefit of one party only. Oh, and without notice to or argument by anyone having an adverse interest of relating to or involving court action taken or received by one party without notice to the other. Yes. For temporary or emergency relief in ex parte hearing. An ex parte injunction. Yes. Despite the traditional one-sidedness of ex parte matters, some courts now require notice to the opposition before what they call an ex parte hearing. Yes. Now, on July 31st, you had an ex parte, yes, issuance of a protection order for 10 years. Pooch. Where the petitioner didn't participate. Pooch. Now, how the fuck can that? You had an ex parte, 10-year protection order. Yes. Where it says, I did not receive notice and opportunity to be heard. You issued this protection order ex parte, Poach. And you issued it without the witness, yes, being the petitioner. Yeah. Now let's think about it, okay? Ex parte. This court hearing was without a petitioner, yes, without a respondent, yes, and you issued the protection order for 10 years. Now, if you wanted to think about kidnapping, yes, and then protecting a person that has significant guilt of welfare fraud, I think the state right now had decided that this I wouldn't do what they wanted because they didn't like how I thought. Now let's look at it again. Oh, you decided to issue a dissolution of marriage, right? Well, you had me arrested. Poop, poop. 4 days after that, yes, and then you decided that you would not contempt the petitioner that was actually participating in welfare fraud because of a false allegation of domestic violence and child abuse. Now, how many times can you have ex parte court hearings? Yes, where there's no reasonable notice and opportunity to be heard, where you can issue it for 10 years. Yes, and then you can cover up and protect a person that was committing the crime of welfare fraud. Oh, exactly how many of these are issued for 10 years, you stupid fuck? 10 years. You issued it for 10 years, Brent. Pooch. Ex parte, ex witness, ooch. Using forgery and fraud, pooch. Now, you had a court hearing on February 11th of 2013. Yes. She said that she mailed it. Yes. That I would get a copy of the dissolution if I went looking for it. Yes. You issued an ex parte dissolution of marriage.